I'd like to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahawashi. Peace and safety to the hopefully elect, all the sincere Akim, scattered throughout the four corners, pushing his word in sincerity and in truth. For those who don't know, Yahweh is the name of the Heavenly Father, who the world ignorantly calls God, and Yahawashi is the name of the only begotten Son, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. And this is another edition of Biblical Interpretations. And what I'm going to go into in this edition is the book of Revelations, chapter 9. And I'm going to go through a few verses and give you the biblical original interpretation of what this is referring to. Now, according to the book of Tahar, the private interpretation is that this is referring to World War II, dealing with Kaiser Warham, an Edomite. It's not biblical. It's basically out of the book of Tahar. It's a private interpretation brought in by the will of man. Basically, it's doctrines of devils. Bible.org, Michael D. Fortner. That's where that doctrine came from. And it was brought into the temple by the elders at Great Millstone, Elder Tahar. And the first precept I want to get is Revelation 9 and verse 1. And it reads, "And the fifth angel sounded, and I saw a star fall from heaven into the earth." Now that star is referring to Yahawashi. Alright, he's the star. But according to the book of Tahar, the private interpretation is that this star is referring to Kaiser Warham. Alright, a general in World War II. Alright, which is, like I said, is complete madness. And that doctrine comes from Bible.org. And I have a video on my channel that I re-uploaded, and it shows the same doctrine that you can that Elder Tahar teach, all right, out of his book, all right, and not out of the Bible. That same doctrine being taught by Michael D. Fortner, Bible.org. So according to the book of Tahar, that star that fell from heaven into the earth is referring to an Edomite. Alright? So reading on, and to him was given the key of the bottomless pit. Now I'm going to get a precept. I'm going to stay in the book of Revelations and show you who that star what the key is referring to. And show you that it's not referring to an Edomite. Alright? Kaiser Warham. So this is Revelation 18, Salakia, Revelation chapter 1 and verse 18. And it reads, "I am he that liveth and was dead." And we know Yahawashi, that this is referring to Yahawashi himself. "And behold, I am alive forevermore, amen, and have the keys of hell and of death." Alright, so that's that star that's referred to in Revelation 9 and 1 that has the keys. Alright, not an Edomite. Okay, so going back to Revelations chapter 9 and verse 1 again. "And the fifth angel sounded, and I saw a star fall from heaven into the earth, and into him was given the keys to the bottomless pit." Alright, and that's that hell and death. Alright, so Yahawashi is the star and not Kaiser Warham. Alright, according to the book of Tahar, this star is referring to Kaiser Warham. So reading on verse 2, it says, "And he opened the bottomless pit, and there arose a smoke out of the pit. There arose a smoke out of the pit as the smoke of a great furnace, and the sun and the air were darkened by reason of the smoke of the pit. And there came out of the smoke locusts upon the earth." Now, according to the book of Tahar, these locusts is referring to nuclear missiles. Okay? And unto him was given power as scorpions of the earth have power. Now I want to get a precept and show you that this is referring to the angels. Alright? It's not referring to Kaiser Warham. It's not referring to World War II. It's referring to the angels. So let's get a precept. We're going to stay in the book of Revelations, chapter 7 and verse 2. And it reads, "And I saw another angel ascending from the east." Alright, referring to Yahawashi, that star. Alright, having the seal of the living power. And he cried with a loud voice to the four angels, to whom it was given to hurt the earth and the sea. Alright, so now going back to Revelation 9 and verse 4, it says, Salakia, in verse 3, "And there came out of the smoke locusts upon the earth, and unto them was given power." Alright, just like those angels, just like Yahawashi commanded those angels in Revelation 7, as the scorpions of the earth have power. So it's referring to the angels. Alright, according to Revelations 7 and 2. That's who was given power. Alright, the four angels. Alright, so reading on verse 4, it says, "And it was commanded them that they should not hurt the grass of the earth, neither any green thing, neither any tree, but only those men which have not the seal of the power in their foreheads." So now let's go back to Revelation 7 and read verse 3. And this is the biblical interpretation of what it's referring to, and not the private interpretation that you that's out of the book of Tahar. Alright, that's taught by the elders at GMS. Like I said, it's Doctrines of Devils. Michael D. Fortner, Bible.org. And basically what you have is guys amongst the circumcision bringing it in the temple and mating it with the Lord's word. Alright, so this is Revelation chapter 7 and verse 4. Salakia, verse 3. And it says, saying, "Hurt not the earth, neither the sea, nor the trees, till we have sealed the servants of our power in their forehead." Alright, so it's Yahawashi giving the commandments to the angels. Alright, giving them power to hurt the earth and the sea. Alright, so going back to Revelation 9 and verse 4 again, it says, "And it was commanded them by Yahawashi, that star with the key, that they should not hurt the earth, so that they should not hurt the grass of the earth, neither any green thing, neither any tree, but only those men which have not the seal of the power in their foreheads." Alright, so it's referring to the angels and not missiles, man. Okay? Reading on verse 5, it says, "And to them it was given that they should not kill them, but they should torment them 5 months. And their torment was as the torment of scorpions when he striketh a man." Okay? So once again, it's not referring to missiles. It's referring to the angels. All right, like we read in Revelations chapter 7. Now, let's get another precept and stay in the book of Revelation chapter 6 and verse 8. And it says, "And I looked, and behold, a pale horse, and his name that sat on him was Death, and hell followed with him. And power was given unto them by that star with the key." All right, and the them is referring to the angels. All right, so it says, "And power was given up unto them over the fourth part of the earth to kill with the sword." And we know when you jump up in the chapter, that sword is referring to, here in verse 4 it says, "And there went out another horse that was red, and power was given unto him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another, and that there was given unto him a great sword." All right, referring to the hosts. All right, uh, the Lord's military, basically. All right, and this is one of the branches of the Lord military. All right, which is the sword, referring to the hosts. All right, which is the Lord's army. Verse 5, "And when he had opened the third seal, I heard the third beast say, Come and see, and behold, and lo, a black horse, and he that sat on him had a pair of balances in his hand, and I heard a voice in the midst of the four beasts," which is the four angels that's referred to in Revelation 7, all right, who's Yahawashi was giving the commandments to. So reading on, it says, "And I heard a voice in the midst of the four beasts say, A measure of wheat for a penny, and 3 measures of barley for a penny, and see thou hurt not the oil and the wine." And this is another branch of the Lord military slash host. And this will be referring to the famine. All right. And reading on, it says, verse 8, it says, "And I looked, and behold, a pale horse," and that will be the third branch of the Lord's military. "And his name that sat on him was Death, and hell followed with him." And that would be your 4 branches of the Lord's host slash military. All right, referring to the angels. Okay, "And power was given unto them by Yahawashi," that star. All right, not Kaiser Warham. All right, "And power was given unto them over the fourth part of the earth to kill with the sword, and with hunger," and that's your black horse, dealing with the famine, "and with death, and with the beasts of the earth." And that's the 4 branches of the Lord's military. All right, referring to the angels and not missiles. But according to the book of Tahar, this Revelation chapter 9 is referring to World War II and missiles and Kaiser Warham. Like I said, you can only find that in the book of Tahar. That's not biblical. It's a private interpretation, basically brought in uh, by the elders at GMS and taught as the Lord's doctrine. All right. So I want to get one last precept. I want to stay in the book of Revelations, chapter 12 and verse 9. And it reads, "And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil and Satan, which deceiveth the whole world." And that's basically what you have with these doctrines that's being taught, that's brought in by the will of man, these private interpretations out of the book of Tahar, chapter 6, verse 66. That's basically what you have going on. These guys have been deceived, all right, by that same beast, all right, that same dragon, that same old serpent, that devil, all right, into teaching these doctrines, man. And like I said, it's not biblical, man. All right. And it says, which deceiveth the whole world. And these guys are a part of the world. All right. Israel is a part of the world, referring to those who's teaching the so-called white man words and not Yahawashi's words. He was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him. And basically, for those guys that's teaching the so-called white man doctrines, that would be the devil's angels that's going to get cast out with this devil for basically teaching teaching his false doctrines, man, pushing his message. All right, basically pushing the so-called white man agenda, and that's why the Lord said, "Ye of your father the devil." All right, and the lust of your father you will do. And basically that lust is um, push lies, and basically uh, cause people to go off and err according to the scriptures. And basically that's the point. I hope you brothers was edified, and with that I'm gonna say shalom.